Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. It's time for another 2017 NFL Draft Scouting Report, and today we're talking about wide receiver Mike Williams out of Clemson. Now, after that national championship game, you saw and heard a lot of people talking about Mike Williams potentially being a top 5 draft pick in this 2017 NFL Draft, and I'm here to tell you, man, he doesn't deserve that. Now, the guy's good, okay? Let me be clear. The guy is good, but there are certain weaknesses with his game. We're going to talk about that. His strengths, his weaknesses, pro comparison, give you a grade, give you a conclusion, give you his best fits, and then we're going to get out of here. Now, let's start with his size. It's great size, man. 6'4", 218. I didn't think he was 6'4", but he measured at 6'4", and I love that because now we're talking about an elite size there. I mean, that is damn near elite. Now, 218, I don't think he's 218 during the NFL season or during the collegiate football season when he was there. I think he's going to balloon back up to like 225 because he just did not look 218. I think he lost weight for the combine, for his pro day, to run a better 40 time and to look more impressive physically. But he was a guy that definitely looked over 220 during his collegiate time. We look at his 2016 stats out of the window, man. 98 catches, 1,300 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, man. That is a bunch of production there. Now, look at his projected 40 time. Now, I made this before his pro day, okay, where he ran a 4.56, and I made this projection based off of his game film. I think based just straight off of game film, he's a 4.6 guy. Maybe a 4.60, maybe I was being a little too harsh, but, you know, you take what you can get. We look at his strengths, though. Again, his size and his strength, man. This is a guy that's so strong. I mean, the bench press, I can't remember exactly what he put up, but I believe it was anywhere from 15 to 18 reps, which is very good for a wide receiver. He's very strong, and his size is elite. I mean, this is elite size to be 6'4", man. That is really, really good. And then high pointing the ball. He's so good. I mean, he is elite in terms of high pointing the ball. The ball is in the air. I am getting it if it is at all possible. We're talking back shoulder fades. We're talking running comeback routes and then looking for the ball in the air and then just grabbing it before the cornerback can do it. Even if the cornerback knows you're going to run a comeback, being able to do that consistently, high pointing the ball, taking that ball out of the air. Mike Williams is fantastic. He has rare ability there. I need to stress that because I'm about to get into a lot of weaknesses and it will seem as if I don't like him at all. But make no doubt about it. When it comes to grabbing the ball out of the air, Mike Williams is fantastic. Now let's get into his weaknesses. Route running. He's not a great route runner at all. His route tree isn't very expansive, and then when you look at his actual route running, his route creativity is not there. I mean, he consistently tips off cornerbacks as to when he's going to break and what routes he's going to run, and that's really concerning for me. He's not crisp with his routes. The depths of his routes are normally not there. Like, he'll be running a 10-yard in, let's say, but then by the middle of the field, he's now 13 yards deep. I mean, so there's just issues with his route running that he really needs to clean up. And coming out of Clemson, I thought he would be much more adept and skilled and refined in this area. But man, when I turned on the tape, this just wasn't true. I look at drops. You know, this is a guy that has a number of drops, especially in games that really didn't matter. So if you watched the national championship game, you would say, okay, no, this guy has good hands. You know, we could see this catch and this catch, he has good hands. But during games against like Georgia Tech, in Louisville, you can see a lot of drops from this guy. So I'm not sure if it's just a concentration thing. In fact, I think that's what it is. But at the same time, I do see him at times letting the ball come into his stomach, you know, not catching it with his hands, you know, letting it hit him. And then I even saw him at times like against some other teams as well, just not doing a good job in terms of having consistent hand usage and refined technique when catching the football. So drops are something that concerns me with Mike Williams. We look at his speed and quickness. You know, it's not there. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I mean, I don't think it's a big problem because, again, he's 6'4", for God's sake. I mean, my goodness, how fast do you need to be? And he did run a 4.56 at his pro day, but I don't believe that's his true speed. I think he's going to balloon back up to 225 during the NFL season, and he'll be running a 4.60 again, 4.60 40 again. So, you know, that's my concern when it comes to Mike Williams, but it's not a huge concern. we look at a pro comparison, and these are two pretty good guys right here. First of all, Alshon Jeffery, okay? This is a guy that any given year could have 1,400 receiving yards. Now, he's only had it once during his time in the NFL. He's only broken 1,000 yards once during his time in the NFL, which has been like 5 years. But this is a guy that, man, any given game could have over 100 receiving yards and have a huge impact on a football game. And Kelvin Benjamin had a great rookie season, was injured the next, and then this past 2016 season did pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. I think these are two good comparisons. I mean, these guys aren't burners, but what do they do so well? Kelvin Benjamin uses his size, although I do think Kelvin Benjamin is better in terms of yards after the catch. But Mike Williams is far superior in terms of high pointing the ball there. And then Alshon Jeffery, man, I think that's a closer comparison. I mean, I think he's really similar to Alshon Jeffery, but I think Alshon Jeffery is more physical, although Mike Williams is very physical himself. I think Jeffery is more physical, and just for some reason, I would just say better. I just feel like Jeffery's a better route runner, I would say, and not better hands. I think their hands are about equal. So the pro comparisons here are pretty fair. We look at his best fits. Buffalo Bills, who are looking for a nice companion to Sammy Watkins. I think Mike Williams could really be that for this football team. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. They already have Brashad Perriman and Mike Wallace, who are two guys who can take the top off the defense. So they need a possession wide receiver. And I look back to Joe Flacco. When he won the Super Bowl, he used Anquan Boldin so well time and time again. They could rekindle magic there in Baltimore by picking up Mike Williams and running a lot of the stuff that they ran with Anquan Boldin. Look at the Arizona Cardinals, who could use another wide receiver. Michael Floyd is now out of there. J.J. Nelson and John Brown did not have great seasons last year, so they could seek to upgrade the wide receiver position. And then the Tennessee Titans, he would fit well there. Although I personally believe that the Titans could be of use of a different type of wide receiver than they currently have. Mike Williams is too similar to my liking to Rashard Matthews. I think the Titans would like to have Mike Williams aboard. So we look at a prospect grade, and guys, it's 83, and that's good, okay? He's a good prospect, and he should be an above-average starter. You know, if we're ranking the wide receivers in the NFL, I'm sure, let's say in 3 or 4 years, he'll be a top 20, 25 wide receiver. He'll be a number one-ish. You'll probably feel good about him being your number one, maybe not great, but you will, to me, definitely need to compliment him with someone that's pretty prolific. Don't think you can have Mike Williams and Robert Woods and you're going to find much success. You're going to have to pair Mike Williams to like a Jordy Nelson to me, or to someone, no, you're not Jordy Nelson, to like a Randall Cobb. You know, really a damn good number two. If you have Mike Williams and a number two that's just not very good, man, your receiving core is in trouble, and you're going to start forcing the ball to Mike Williams, and cornerbacks are going to start sniffing some of the stuff out that he does because he's just not creative enough in terms of his route running yet. Eventually, maybe he will be, and if he does, then man, this guy could be really, really good. He could be a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, but right now, just based off of what I'm seeing on the film, I think there are issues right now with Mike Williams that prevent me from saying, okay, he's going to be a top 15, top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. So to conclude, with elite size, ball tracking, and high pointing ability, and man, his ball tracking, high pointing ability, again, it's so great. It's great. It's so great. Mike Williams has a lot to offer as an NFL receiver, but fundamental flaws could forever limit his production. Again, will he be a top 10, top 12, top 15 wide receiver? He could be. If you really force feed him, he certainly could be. But just on his own, I'm not sure he's going to be. I'm not sure if he's that good. Again, if he can refine his skills, if he can, fix some of these fundamental flaws in his game, I think he could certainly be very, very good. Maybe even be a solid top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. But for right now, I'm saying top 20, top 25. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Mike Williams, the wide receiver out of Clemson. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.